Hello and welcome back to Red Fox Classics and a car that we have not seen on this channel for quite some time. Now this is my Triumph Herald 1360 and you should have just seen a summary of what's happened to it, at least on YouTube, over the past year and a half. And one of the last things was someone ran in the rear and bashed up the rear valances and dented the rear wing and damaged the boot floor a little bit. So, about a week ago now, I picked it up and I've just been fitting up the replacement passenger door. But I thought for this video, we'll start off with something a little bit different and give a bit of an intro to the car, because I never did that. I just started filming what I was doing. So this car was built on the 1st of December 1969. Then on the 2nd of December, it was shipped to Chichester Autos Limited in Chichester, invented name. Though, if anybody knows anything about that garage, I would be interested just to have some idea of where it was, or pictures, or anything, just for part of the car's history. It then, being this is a convertible, and it was December, sat around for quite a while. It wasn't actually registered until the summer of 1970, when it got an H-reg plate. And I know that first owner was very likely a psychiatric nurse in the southwest area down there as well. So they owned it for 7 years. It then still staying in the southwest, it went through two owners very quickly in 78, 79, both living at the same address at one point. And then towards the end of 1979, it was sold to the person that I bought it from. Now, they kept it for many years. The previous owner to me, it was the only car she ever drove, I believe. And I've got the MOT history from them from 1979 onwards, or 1980 onwards, I can't quite remember. I know it went to this owner's daughter for a brief period, and then it went to the Ringwood area of Hampshire, and then it went back to the lady I bought it from, and it ended up sat in the garage getting less and less use. So come 2007, I just had a relatively well-paid summer job, going back the last year of my undergraduate degree, and I decided to finally buy a car, finally buy a Herald, because I'd been after one for quite some time, and I found this one. So when it came to me, it had TR7 wheels fitted, it had the twin carbs that it's still got now, had a bit of rot in various places, as you might expect. But as I drove it away, I'd gone, not even 2 minutes down the road, and I was passed by, I think I remember a couple in a Dolomite of some sort waving to me. So I was dead pleased there, you know. Felt like you'd arrived in the classic car world. Got to a first petrol station because I had no fuel in it, and the radio fell off the dashboard onto the top of the gearbox tunnel. It wasn't working anyway, but you know, it was the cradle snapped. But I got it, drove it home fine. That was when I was living in the southeast. It's about an hour and a half, I think, and it became my daily driver that year throughout all weathers. Up and down the A1 in the winter. Did let me down once. The head gasket blew up somewhere just north of London on the A1, and I had to the car got recovered, I got a courtesy car. So that was my first big job on the car, was taking the head off and changing the gasket, and it's kind of gone from there. So let's have a look at some pictures of the car over the years. Once I'd taught myself to weld on the Spitfire, I started getting much more involved in the repair of this car. I built myself a lot of the rear end, and then, as you might have seen if you were an early subscriber to this channel, the most recent big bit of work I did was to take the whole of the bulkhead off and completely rebuild it, and then to rebuild the engine. And that brings us right to the point where 500 miles into that fresh engine, someone ran into the back of me at a roundabout. However, it has turned out alright, because the car is now back. It's got fresh paint on the back end, there's no trace of any accident damage. I've taken the opportunity to redo the door, which needed doing anyway. So it's actually probably the best state it's ever been right now. And for those of you who are interested, I have recorded the fitting up of the passenger door, so we can go and look at that, because it's a bit of an awkward job. And hopefully some of my mistakes might prevent you from making them if you have to do this sort of job yourself in the future. But I'm going to leave door assembly to the next video. There's two reasons for that. One is I think we've ended up with two sections with completely different subject matters, so probably different levels of interest from different audiences. And also I'm having terrible internet trouble at the moment, so a short video I'm probably going to be able to get uploaded tonight in time to actually post. A longer one might come out tomorrow. So, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little bit of a story on the Herald. As I said, next time we're actually putting the door together. And then, well, you might be able to see in the background the manual sitting on the roof. And that's because I suspect the head gasket's gone. Probably not going to video that, but you know, it's another job to do. But there is an impending Spitfire engine rebuild on its way. So thanks everyone for watching. If you want to see more on these cars, then please hit the subscribe button. I'm getting closer and closer to the point where YouTube will give me some advertising revenue, but I still need a couple of hundred more subscribers, so if you want to help me out, that'd be awesome. If you want to help our channel in another way, there are stickers available, then there'll be a shop link on screen, and also below all the videos. But regardless, thanks everyone for watching, commenting, subscribing, and I will see you next time, which might be quite shortly.